Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with part 2 of our 200 subscriber videos that I'm doing. Again, this deck that I'm doing right here is going to be under $25. I don't have an extra deck for this one because I've never really ever gone to the extra deck using this, so you can play one, and I would suggest still playing one even though you're never going to go into it, just in case. Like playing some of like the Nightmare Cerberus, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, those would probably be good, or just some generic kind of rank 4s might be nice to play. But the deck we are doing right now for part 2 is going to be Anti-Meta Stun. Super fun control deck. Part 1 was actually more of an OTK kind of aggressive deck. This is more of a control, just kind of trying to stun your opponent and just lock them. So we will get right into it. As you saw, we play 3 Inspector Border. It's probably the best anti-meta card ever made. So if you have 2 monsters in hand, this is always the one you want to normal summon first, because you can't normal summon this if you control another monster, basically. And this one, in short, it's a very confusing text, but while this is on the field, your opponent's pretty much not going to be getting any monster effects off. So it's an amazing card, 2000 attack, and it's light, which is very important for this first little group I'm showing you. Thunder King Ryo, we play at 3 as well. He's another light. Neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand except by drawing them. So it just locks your opponent out of searching, and then during either player's turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster, you can send this to the graveyard and negate the special summon and destroy it. And then the third one we play, 3 Banisher of the Radiance, another light, and when this card is on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So very, very good combination here. You also have an option. I'll give you guys kind of the option of what you want to do. If you don't want to play these 3 different types, you could play 3 Beat Raptor, which locks your opponent out of special summoning, or it negates the effects of monsters in the extra monster zone. 3 Fossil Dyna, neither player can special summon. And then if it's flipped face up, you can destroy all special summon monsters on the field. And then 3 Traptrix Myrmelio. They're all Earth. You want to have, just for a specific trap card we play, we want to have all of the attributes match, but not all of the types. So you can either do these 3 or these 3. I'm choosing for this deck profile to do Inspector Border, Thunder King Ryo, and Banisher of the Radiance. I just think this is a little bit broader as far as just covering all your bases. So I'm going with that one. Like I said, you could do whatever you want. For the spells that we play, playing 3 Pot of Duality. We're not doing much, if any, special summoning, so this is just getting you a free card, basically. Moon Mirror Shield, very, very good. For like your Banisher of the Radiance, just equipping this to it, and it's basically never going to be destroyed by battle, because its attack will become whatever the opponent's monster it's battling. It'll be that attack plus 100, so it'll pretty much always be over the attack of whatever monster your opponent managed to get on the field. And then the last spell card we play is Dimensional Fissure. It just, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Simple as that. Really, really good. Hurts your opponent. Doesn't really hurt you that much. You really don't need anything in the grave. And now the bulk of the deck is actually traps. It's anti-meta. Ideally, you want to be normal summoning 1 monster and setting 5. That's your ideal opening. If you can do that, you're probably stopping your opponent for a few turns, if not just winning outright. But probably one of the best trap cards you could play, very budget now because I got a reprint, is there can only be 1. Each player can only control 1 monster of each type. That's why we play these, Fairy, Thunder, Machine. Their types do not match. This is going to hurt your opponent. Basically, if they try to go into the extra deck, it's going to be screwing them up, because a lot of the extra deck monsters are cybers, whereas their main deck monsters are almost never going to be cybers. So, unless you're playing like Salamangrate or something like that. But, or sorry, yeah, they're going to be. This hurts Salamangrate more than anything, is what I meant to say. Goes in match is really, really amazing too. That's why I said we want to keep our attributes of the monsters we pick the same, because each player can only control one attribute of monster, so that hurts a lot of decks. 3 anti-spell fragrance. Again, we don't play very many spells, so this is going to be hurting your opponent more than it's going to be hurting you. 3 compulsory evacuation device. Really good budget card. I mean, this is like 10 cents if you get a common, just like this guy. But you just simply target one monster on the field, return it to the hand. So it'll get rid of problem monsters. If say you don't have Moon Mirror Shield and your opponent's just trying to get rid of one of your monsters, just return theirs to the hand. Help you out a lot. And then also for the battle phase, we got Storming Mirror Force. It's going to be when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you just return all attack position monsters to the hand. So this is even going to hurt your opponent's link monsters. And then I said another option would be like Trap Tricks Myrmelio, because in this particular build, since we're trying to stay under about 25 bucks, like I said, we're not going to be doing the Solemn Brigade, Solemn Strike, Solemn Judgment. We're instead going to be doing trap holes. So we got 3 bottomless trap holes. When your opponent summons a monster with 1500 or more attack, you destroy it and banish it. So really, really good. 2 Floodgate. When your opponent summons a monster, so if say your opponent happens to Pendulum Summon, which probably won't be happening against this deck, but if they happen to Pendulum Summon, whatever they Pendulum Summon, you're going to be flipping them all to face down defense position if you activate this. Otherwise, if you're just whatever they summon, obviously not a link monster, but anything else, you just flip it to face down. And then monsters flipped to face down position cannot change their battle position, so they're pretty much stuck, just like how they are. 2 Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare. When a monster your opponent controls that was special summoned this turn activates its effect, you negate the effect and destroy it. So it's really good, because pretty much most of the time if your opponent special summons a monster like a link monster, they're going to be activating its effect, and if they do, then you're going to destroy it, negate the effect, and destroy it. Also play 1 Time Space Trap Hole. When your opponent special summons a monster from the hand or extra deck, you just shuffle that into the deck, and you lose 1,000 life points for each return monster. So you lose life points, but you're returning that monster, so it doesn't even hit the grave. So really good in some situations. And then the last card is Macrocosmos. This is just another one that says any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So really, really good. Like I said, I'm not doing an extra deck for this. You can kind of do whatever you want. Like I said, just kind of generic level, rank 4s and just generic links. But you're probably not going to be going into them because of some of these cards that will lock you out as well. Goes in match, and there can only be one. You're going to have a hard time going to the extra deck anyway. So just kind of sticking with your main deck for the most part with this. Really fun. Like I said, under 25 bucks, can't go wrong. It's just super fun to just kind of just stun your opponent out of playing the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, so that was part 2. Part 3 is coming up. It's one of my favorite decks. We will get that one. Catch you on that one.